Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we are doing a target acquisition mission here, and we are going to engage these guys over here. Okay, we do see that they have a salamander and an osprey as well. This is a kill team. And we're going to do it. So our first mission here is ensuring that we are out of their line of sight to try to draw them towards us.
Full speed. No
And
time.
hopefully that will work. Unfortunately, this Centurion does have rear arc facing them, but it is very long range. Yeah, that's not a lot of damage. Okay. Good.
Yes, Commander.
Our Wolverine is also going to come over this way.
Copy that.
Unfortunately, we don't move this Centurion until phase 16. Okay, a Gauss rifle there.
Systems holding.
On that Osprey, good to know. And now the Marauder. Okay. Sounds good. And now the Salamander, firing on that Centurion. Ow! Very rude. We haven't gotten a chance to move that Centurion just yet.
Orders?
So our Hunchback is going to sprint down this way. We're not going to fire just yet. Now we can move this Centurion, and as long as we don't expose our rear arc, we should be reasonably okay. So we're going to position it right down over here. And we're going to call that good for now.
Awaiting orders.
This Centurion is going to hop up over here, and I am going to Vigilance it. And let's take a look at hit odds here. Okay, we're going to fire on this Osprey, super long range. We got a few hits in there. It'll do. The Cobra is going to fire on the Salamander. Remember, we do have these allies flanking them. We outnumber them quite heavily. Okay.
Waiting for orders.
At this point, we're going to have to try to either bait them in even further, get them to come this direction and engage them over here, or we're going to have to get super aggressive and run the gauntlet of their fire. I think we bait them over here. Okay, the Osprey is going to fire on that Centurion. That was pretty expected. That's why we vigilanced it.
Light damage. Holding firm.
What are your orders, Skipper?
Okay, our stealth is going to pull back as well for LOS purposes. We're trying to get them to walk towards us here. That Centurion is going to fire on our friend the Cobra. They're also wasting a lot of ammunition. That's another thing to note.
Ready for orders.
Our Clint is going to remain exactly where it's at.
Acknowledged.
The Marauder steps forward. Does get the fire on that Centurion. I'm not surprised by that, but it does miss.
Standing
'Kay.
by.
So this Centurion is, at this point, going to dip out of LOS.
Confirmed.
I do wish that this Centurion wasn't in phase 16. That would give us a lot to work with if that wasn't the case. Okay.
That really hurts.
Did they have direct LOS, sir?
Got something.
I'm unclear if they did or not. So our Wolverine is going to stay back over here. We're still trying to get them to move forward. They're not really taking the bait as of right now,
Orders.
but hopefully they will soon enough.
Confirmed.
We're just hugging this wall. And also our allied units will soak some ammo for us, as well as hopefully doing a little bit of damage here and there, but I'm not really counting on them.
Waiting for orders.
Okay, is that direct LOS? Yes, it is. So let's dip out over here into indirect LOS. Check these hit odds. They are not worth firing, and so we shall brace. Our allies move up. 24 damage into that Centurion. We'll take it. And we'll see what they decide to do. Firing on the Scorpion. This is not shocking, but it did waste some autocannon ammo and some missiles. We're going to reserve. The Marauder is going to also fire on that Scorpion, wasting some Gauss ammo. Great. We're going to reserve. They're going to prefer to fire on our vehicle support here. And that should be a kill on that. Absolutely. The Scorpion's dead. That's fine. Once again, they wasted some Gauss ammo on that. We're going to reserve. The Salamander is going to fire on the Scorpion. And that's a kill. That's fine. We're going to reserve. In fact, all of them have moved, haven't they? I want to actually just kind of brace everybody at this point. Everyone gets a brace.
Copy that.
Confirmed. Holding.
I want them to move in on us. The Cobra fires on the Centurion, doesn't get any damage. Next round, they should kill the Cobra.
I'm receiving
And
you.
then the hope is that they will start moving in on us.
Standing by. Holding here.
That's the idea
Ready to
here.
Get it on. Receiving you.
Okay. The Osprey comes in. It has direct LOS there.
Light damage, Commander.
Here. I suppose it would.
Good to go.
In that case, we have to get aggressive. The Chameleon moves up. Vigilances. Only one we can fire at is this Salamander. Light him up. We do get 20 damage on him. I did think that this would give us better cover than it was. That's my own fault. Ow.
Okay, that hurt.
Yep, that was with as many evasive pips as we could muster, and with bracing. Yep. Okay.
Ready for orders.
Our J Centurion is going to sprint into here,
On my way. Double time.
and that's all we can do there.
Receiving you.
Our Wolverine will need to join us out here. And we're going to fire on whoever our hit odds are highest. The Osprey. Okay. Light him up.
Engage.
That's a solid hit. That's a solid hit. The Marauder moves into fire. Ow. 115. Is that a railgun on that Marauder?
Can't take much more of this.
That's a lot of damage out of that Marauder. Okay. Our Clint is going to move up. We're trying to make this into a bit of a target-rich environment for them. 59.2, 65.5. Okay. All of these hit odds are pretty good. We're going to fire on the Osprey here. We're going to save the Rocket 20.
Confirmed.
Good damage.
Awaiting orders.
Our long-range Centurion is going to dip out here. And we're going to continue to fire on... It's got to be the Osprey. I don't really like it, but it does have to be the Osprey.
Copy that.
Sadly, we missed both autocannon shots there.
Skipper.
Our stealth has to get very aggressive here.
All right.
We're going to vigilance it. And... these hit odds are all very mediocre. We're going to fire up here at this Marauder and fire the chaff countermeasures at this time.
Here we go.
Okay. What we really wanted was the sensor scramble on those two.
I'm ready.
This Hunchback is going to move up,
Acknowledged.
and we're going to fire on... it's got to be the Marauder. This is our last round of Artemis 4.
Acknowledged.
Okay.
I'm out of LRMs.
Wow, he missed again with his autocannon. Yikes. So, I mean, that was definitely a miscalculation to hide behind the ridge. I should have gotten aggressive from the beginning. There's no doubt about that. The chameleon is going to, I feel like, swing up over here. We want to try to protect our right side a little bit. So we're going to try to position around here.
Acknowledged.
And I am going to vigilance it. And then we're going to fire on 38.2. Stray shots are potential up here. Whereas with the salamander, we could try to fire armor-piercing ammo. But I think we're going to fire on that marauder. 60 damage to it. We'll take it. Okay.
What's up, boss?
Our Clint. Our Clint is going to get aggressive as well.
Confirmed.
We're trying to spread out here a little bit to prevent some stray shots. We want that ERPPC on one of these, and it has to be on the Marauder because we really... Actually, we should be in long-range mode on variable range targeting here because we really want to sensor scramble him. 33.3%. Actually, we should be in short-range mode.
Engaging with target.
Sad. We don't get our sensor scramble there. Only a little bit of armor damage on him. We need to close in further. Okay. We're going to move up to here with our stealth, and we are going to fire on, it's got to be the salamander. I don't like splitting. Actually, it's not going to be the salamander. We're going to fire up here again for the chaff countermeasures. Okay. More sensor scramble on those two. That's very valuable for us. That Centurion moves up, fires on the Clint. Mostly misses. That armor damage is really hurting, though. This Centurion is going to sprint forward as much as it can, but we're out of range. And this is where the pain comes. Ow! Well, there goes the ERPPC. I was really hoping that he would miss that railgun. Well, the Clint is going to die here.
Damn it. I'm wounded.
Yes, that was expected.
Critical hit.
The gamble there was the railgun had to miss. And it didn't. So the Clint is very, very likely to die in this round. Yep, there it goes. So Savarok, this says incapacitated. We don't know whether he's dead or not. He probably is. We should assume that he is dead. We're going to move up to here.
In coordinates.
And we're going to fire on... It's these hit odds, though. It's got to be the Osprey. We need to start chipping through this armor.
Locked on.
Oh, we missed. Unfortunate. We missed with the binary laser there. That's some bad luck. Twice in a row there. We're going to sprint up to here with our long-range Centurion, and we're going to do what we can on this Osprey.
Give them everything I've got.
Okay, we're through the armor there. We did take out 2 medium lasers and a double heat sink. That's great. We'll see what our Cobra friend does. Gets 20 damage in on the Salamander. That's not great, but it'll do. The Hunchback is not really able to get into the best of positions, but we're going to move up here, and we're going to fire on that Osprey. We're going to fire with listen kill ammo, and we're going to try to get into this arm and see what damage we can do here. Sadly, we're not in that torso.
Target confirmed.
We did crit the Gauss Rifle M7. So that's kind of a big deal.
Yes, Commander.
The Chameleon is going to sprint over... I feel like we have to go over this side.
Confirmed.
We're going to vigilance it. And we're going to fire on the Salamander here in armor-piercing mode.
Copy that.
Okay, not the greatest there, but it'll have to do. The Centurion fires on our Wolverine. Doesn't get the greatest damage.
Damage minimal.
And now is when the pain comes in. The Marauder moves. It misses the railgun. We're good. For now.
Systems holding.
The Osprey will move now. It misses its Gauss. Gets a few missiles in on the Wolverine. But that's not the end of the world. Okay, the salamander. This is where it can hurt. Ow. It's a gyro crit.
Reporting. Critical hit.
Okay. So this Wolverine has taken a beating.
Receiving you.
This Centurion is going to step forward to here. We can't fire on that Osprey, but we can fire on the Marauder. We're going to need to sprint forward a little further.
Going full speed.
Okay. If we are in precision ammo here, 17.4% only. Did we fail our sensor roll? Yes, we did. Great. We're getting some fantastic luck here.
Target.
And by that, I mean absolutely awful. We failed our sensor roll on the Midran.
Aye, aye.
This Centurion needs to position here in front of our Wolverine. And so it shall. Our Ultra AC5 jammed as well. 65% out over here on that Centurion. The Centurion is running hot. We have to chip through this Marauder's armor.
Engaging target.
That wasn't great.
Yep.
Our stealth is going to close in as much as it can. This is side arc over here, and nope. This is side arc over here, and we're going to take that.
Copy that.
We're going to fire on that Marauder.
Firing.
It's a smattering of armor damage, but we need more.
Short-range missiles are out. Standing by.
The Wolverine has to disengage for now. Sadly, this is all the further we can go. We could position something out like this. We're very likely to die, I feel like. I was thinking we'd be able to run further with our vigilance. But apparently not. So this will put the right side towards them, which is our strong side, but it's not great. We're going to sink a little heat there. We'll see what our ally does. Misses the Marauder. Okay, not useful.
Ready for orders.
Our Hunchback is going to step forward there,
Affirmative.
and we're going to do everything we can against that Marauder. We have to get through that armor.
Locked on target.
Okay,
I got the heat spiking here.
next.
Waiting for orders.
Our Chameleon is... I feel like we have to come up over this way.
Moving to position.
Reason being, we can't go behind this Salamander in this exact moment because this Centurion has to be taken care of first. Do it.
Fire.
Okay, we got some good armor damage there. There's no doubt about it. The Osprey moves up. This could hurt. It does miss its Gauss. That's important. Very, very important. The Centurion is coming in and charging our Chameleon, and it misses. That is huge. That is absolutely huge. This guy moves phase 19. We're going to position the stealth here. This is dangerous. Only one evasive pip. Can we get anywhere else useful? Not really. Okay. The stealth is fresh. So we're going to position it here. We're going to do what we can. We're going to have a small overheat here. We accept this. The idea behind that was to further weaken the Marauder there. And we did succeed in that. The Salamander moves over. Fires on the Centurion. This is going to hurt. Ow. The Centurion is unsteady.
Orders.
Okay. The Wolverine is going to position over here.
Affirmative.
And do what you can to that Marauder. Whatever you can.
Confirmed.
2 damage is what you can. That's not great. What's the Marauder going to do here? It's going to hurt that Centurion bad. The railgun missed. That's a huge, huge deal there. Okay.
Good to go.
The Centurion now positions here.
Got it.
We cannot vigilance it. Our armor is exceptionally low. I'm aware of this. Did we fail our sensor roll again? We did fail our sensor roll again. Wow. We have sensors in this thing, right? Yes, we do. That's 2 failed sensor rolls in a row. What about going after this Centurion? It doesn't really work. It does not really work.
On it.
Some damage to that Salamander, but not what I would have liked to see. We're going to move up with this Centurion, and we're going to fire on the Osprey. It has to be the Marauder. The problem here is everyone here is a threat, right? That's the core issue. We did penetrate the Marauder's armor there.
Scored a critical hit.
Okay.
Out of LRM.
Allied turn. What's the Cobra going to do? Goes for that Centurion and misses. Our allies have been pretty useless.
Standing by.
Okay. Can we get into the water? No.
Rolling.
We're going to step forward. This overheat, how dangerous is this? Not tremendously. We'll roll it. The only one we can fire on here is the Marauder. Yeah, it has to be the Marauder. 9 internal damage there. We did destroy a heavy Gauss ammo there.
I'm out of long-range missiles.
Okay. The Centurion moves up. Fires on our long-range Centurion. It does a lot of damage, but we're okay for
Reporting
now.
Heavy damage.
Okay.
Receiving you.
Our Chameleon is going to get very aggressive here.
Roger.
Position here. Hit this Marauder. This is kind of its strong side.
Roger that.
Okay. Who moves now? It's the Osprey. That's not tremendously relevant there.
I'm taking
When
heavy
does that Marauder move? Now. Uh-oh. Wait, we blew up its its heavy Gauss ammo. Does it not have any heavy Gauss ammo? Okay, so that means that the Salamander's the threat now, and probably kills the Centurion here, but it doesn't fire its missiles.
Systems holding.
It didn't fire its missiles. I wonder why.
Orders.
Fascinating. Our stealth needs to sink heat. We're going to fire on the Marauder here on its weak side and sink a tiny amount of heat. That was a lot of internal damage there.
Critical hit.
Commander.
Our Wolverine could dip out over here
Move order received.
and fire super long range on the Marauder.
I copy.
That's a bunch more internal damage there.
Solid connection on that one.
Okay.
Receiving you.
Our Centurion is going to position out over here, where we're a little bit more protected. Light up that Marauder in its weak side.
Taking the shot.
A lot more internal damage there, but
That hit
just
something
not
good.
what we need just yet.
All out of AC-20.
Let's see what our Cobra friend does. Okay, 20 more damage to the Centurion. We'll
Awaiting
take that.
orders.
Our long-range Centurion is going to dip out over here. We are out of ammo for LRMs, but what we can do is continue to fire that Ultra AC-5 at the Marauder's weak side.
Copy that.
Okay.
Target's taking a critical hit.
Now, that was the arm falling off there.
Commander.
Our Hunchback is going to need to sprint into the water and sink heat.
Got it, Commander.
Okay.
Standing by.
Now, our chameleon can move in behind this osprey. We can kick the osprey, not fire... Actually, we want to fire everything here. Hit that rear arc with high explosive ammo.
Roger that. Targeting for physical attack.
We didn't actually penetrate any armor there.
Pretty damn
That was
hot in here.
unlucky that we didn't hit anything in that rear arc. Ow. That was the AC-20 Midran. We do have a backup for that. So yeah, the Osprey is now becoming the threat here. Okay. That and the Salamander. Now that's not surprising. The stealth only had the one evasive pip.
I'm catching some serious shit here, Commander.
Indeed.
Ready for orders.
Okay, so this Centurion, without the AC-20 Midran, is a lot less of a threat. I'm just going to position it over here with its left side facing the enemy, like so. Out of LOS. Let's see what this Salamander does.
That all you got?
An interesting choice.
Confirmed.
The stealth's leg is heavily damaged right now. That's its right leg. That Osprey is the threat. That said, the Centurion is a bit of a threat as well.
Yep.
Just thinking here. These options aren't fantastic. If we positioned it here, our right leg would be facing these guys. What's in that leg? AMS ammo. That could explode, in theory. Light up that Osprey. It is on the strong side. But it killed the Osprey. Ammo explosion. Fantastic.
Watch my
Okay, let's see what the Cobra does here. Fires on the Centurion again, doesn't do a whole lot.
Yes, Commander.
We're going to close in with our long-range Centurion
Copy
here.
that.
I think we start working on this Salamander. Okay.
Waiting for orders.
Our Wolverine is going to dip back into cover here. I'm concerned about it.
Double time. Let's go.
Yes, Commander.
Our Hunchback is going to come out over here. We did tag this guy. Unfortunately, we don't have LOS on him, so we're just going to brace. Okay. Who fired that? Centurion? Centurion just didn't move.
Aye, aye.
Fascinating. We're going to kick the Marauder rear arc here. I have a feeling the Chameleon can handle the Marauder from here. All it's got is that plasma cannon. It does have 312 melee power, though, so that's definitely something to be concerned about. Let's go ahead and fire on that. We did miss that kick. That is unfortunate, but let's see what we get from our
Damn it.
physical attack here.
Down, Mech.
Over the red line. Heat down.
Really? We stray shot into the leg and got an ammo explosion in our stealth. That was really unfortunate. And yeah, that was expected. That was incredibly bad luck there, actually, that we got that. This Centurion is going to move up over here.
Double time. Let's
And
go.
yeah, we are pretty weak. We do know that. But we're going to hit this Centurion right in his weak arc. Only 16 damage. Not the greatest. And man, that was really bad luck there, actually. Okay, that plasma exposed a structure on
They're
our
blowing through my
long-range
armor.
Centurion. That's fine-ish. This torso, okay, what's in that? A couple of heat sinks and the Ultra AC5. Not the biggest
Ready
of
for
deals.
orders.
Our Wolverine is going to position out over here. We're going to fire long range on that Marauder.
Engaging target.
We missed with the binary laser again. Okay, a couple of engine crits there.
Inflicted some hits.
And the
I'm
Marauder
out of that
ejects. Great.
Aye, aye.
Okay, so this Centurion needs to be pretty careful here as well. We're going to have to dip it around over here. And unfortunately, we can't really turn it the way I'd like to. This is going to get dicey. The Salamander is a pretty big problem right now. Okay.
AC5 ammo gun.
Let's see what our Cobra friend does. Misses the Centurion again. Man, I really wish we hadn't have gotten that roll. That was so bad luck.
Waiting for orders.
We're going to move forward with our Hunchback as much as we can, which is
Going
here.
full throttle.
And, I mean, Deadfire ammo at this range isn't tremendously great.
Engage.
But we'll see if we can get his attention a bit. Okay. Yikes. He moves now. This Centurion's probably dead. He goes for the Wolverine, actually. Okay. Well, we're losing a lot of pilots here, and a lot of them are kind of bad luck, and a lot of them are our own fault. Unfortunately, we have to move through fire here. And this is really, really spicy heat levels. This is less spicy. Hang on. This is not giving me an overheat warning here. Projected heat, 30 of 150. If we get through that rear arc, it's totally worth it. Assuming we don't actually, have our engine explode. Which we might.
Target lock on enemy rear.
Structure exposure and an engine core
Critical
crit.
hit.
And
I'm
yeah.
taking heat damage.
Yeah, it
Gotta shut
was
down.
correct.
Can't vent enough heat.
Okay. So that's unfortunate. Again, that's kind of a game bug in a way. But also, it was kind of telling us the correct thing, so I don't know. I don't think I want to charge here. I do want to come in over this way and protect our left side, or rather, present our left side. It's really awkward with this Salamander here.
Roger.
But let's move up. If we lose our Centurion, we lose our Centurion. We're committing to this.
Target lock on enemy 6.
Okay, we took out a heat sink on that Centurion.
Solid connection on that one. Commander,
This Centurion is also going to try to loop around over here.
copy that.
All we've got is the light tag.
Roger that.
1 damage. Hooray! Okay, let's see what our Cobra friend does. Fires on the Salamander there. Does 20 damage.
Orders.
Our Hunchback will advance. 29.2 versus 29.2, and we can fire the medium laser. But I think we're going to fire on their Centurion here. This is on his weak side. And that's a dead Centurion. Okay. Things are starting to look better. But here's the question. The Salamander moves immediately. What does he do? Just fires on the Chameleon, and the Chameleon's okay for now.
Good to go.
Okay. Now that's interesting. He turned his rear arc over this way. We can get up into his side arc, like this. But it's a little bit dangerous and dicey. I think we're going to dip out over this direction and brace for now.
Yes, Commander.
The Chameleon will restart.
Systems are back online.
I would love to get this Centurion into the rear arc of this
On my way.
Salamander, but we
Double time.
can't quite get there. We'll see what our ally does. The Cobra fires on the Salamander and misses. Okay.
Ready for orders.
Well, Paladin, it's
Roger that.
pretty much on you, buddy. If you kill this or rather, you kill this Salamander, we're golden. If you don't, we've got problems. And he killed it. He killed it. Okay.
Enemy destroyed. I'm out of LRM.
That was really risky. That was incredibly risky.
Moving out.
Yeah, we took some losses. There's no doubt about it. It looks like Pacifist and Savarok are dead. We don't know that for an absolute fact. It looks like Chronic Toast survived.
Moving to position.
Pacifist and Savarok could have been saved by our medical team, but it's unlikely.
Roger that.
We should assume that we had 2 pilot fatalities from
Got
this.
it, Commander.
This was always incredibly risky. And kind of born of desperation from fishing
Moving
for
out.
heavies for so long.
I copy.
But
Position
we got some.
confirmed.
Now, some of these mechs may have been destroyed completely.
Coordinates received.
That is definitely
Moving to
important to
position.
note.
Aye, aye.
But it
On the way.
may have been worth it. We'll find out. At any rate, it was very expensive.
Affirmative.
There's no doubt about that. Okay, let's get out of here.
On the move.
That was definitely yikes. But let's get out of here.
Mission successful.
We killed the kill team. It was costly. And honestly, it would have gone better if I had gone aggressive from the get-go. I really thought we could bait them around that hill into coming in, but I underestimated how much they could get around that just from their high position. So that's fine. We barely made any money from the payout, but that's okay. We don't mind that. Okay, so Chronic Toast is injured. Paladin Savarok was actually injured, so we only lost Pacifist. That's really not that bad. Now, the stealth may have been fully destroyed. Maybe. But it's the only one that I think may have been fully destroyed. The Wolverine could have, in theory. And I suppose so could the Clint. We'll find out here in a moment. Now, we want these Marauder parts. We don't really care so much about the Osprey parts. We want, actually, we get a full Salamander out of this. We take that over the Marauder parts. That's an assault mech. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's an assault mech for us. We may get a couple of Marauder parts in the roulette. Let's find out. We did. We got all three Marauder parts, and we got all 5 Salamander parts. We got the Heavy Gauss Rifle, the Gauss Rifle M7. Those are both fantastic. A couple of medium lasers. We got the Plasma Cannon. We got a PPC. That's okay. We got an SRM2 Mech. A case, an Endosteel Structure, an Engine Core 200, which we can actually sell. We got 3 standard FCSs, some standard jump jets, some basic sensors, some Slug LBX-2 ammo, and some SAM LRM ammo. Okay. Do we consider this worthwhile? That depends. At this point, what that depends on is how many mechs we permanently lost from it. If we lost 2 mechs permanently, then I would say, yes, that was worth it. If we lost 3, it becomes borderline worth it, but was still really, really close. That was definitely a stressful one. Watching the armor just melt off as the Salamander took those broadside attacks, oh, that was painful. So we lost the stealth and the Clint, and that was it. Those were kind of our latest mechs. Okay, so go ahead and get on that, Yang. Yes, we lost Pacifist. That was expected. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. There's no doubt about that. Let's hop into the mech bay here. And we get ourselves one of these guys. Did we have parts for a Marauder previously? No, we didn't. Okay. But let's get the Salamander ready to go. An assault grade fire support mech. Fantastic. It's got accurate missile quirk, and let's see the hard points. Okay. Not too bad. So this should be a fairly standoffish mech. This alone is 500k. Let's actually hold off on this for the moment, because I want to go through our storage over here. I want to make sure that we don't have any heavies sneaking in here that we could have gotten all along, but I don't think we do. And B, I want to scrap things like this and get ourselves a little bit more pad on the old cash front, because we are going to need it. We'll get rid of these vehicle parts in here. And we're also going to need to run a few safer missions for a little while. And we'll grab ourselves a little bit more C-bills here. I'm hoping for somewhere around 2.5 to 3 mil on the C-bill front, because we're probably going to need it, but I doubt we're going to get that high. I mean, we cleaned this out fairly recently. So let's go ahead and scrap these J. Edgar parts. Anything else? Yes, Rotunda. Okay. There's a Scorpion over here too. That gets us a little bit more financial headroom. We do have 30 days to deploy again, so that's great. Let's go ahead and start working on this Salamander, and let's see just how much this is going to cost. So we need to replace all of this, of course, and this is intended to run an Engine XL. We may well want to have it run an Engine XL. Now, this by default carries LRM-20s. But I'm thinking, how many do we have of Aero 4s? We've got 2 Aero 4s. So what if we did boom, boom. Like that. We max out this armor, for now anyway. We run dual Aero 4s, and then we have both of our hard points are in our CT for our energy weapons. That's unfortunate. I was hoping for arm hard points. Sadly, no such luck. Let's go ahead and give this thing an engine core. It doesn't have to be a super big engine core. Like a 250 would probably be okay, although a 300 might even be better, because we're going to be able to put in that heatsink +2. This guy. So if we go in here, we can see, yeah, heatsink +2. And we may want, as far as heatsinks go, to run something along the lines of a clan heatsink kit. Now, we do only have 2 clan double heatsinks. How many free do we have here? We don't require any. Okay. So that's not too bad. And this is without an Engine XL. Now, we don't have any Aero 4 ammo in here, of course. So we would run something kind of like this. A guided, and then... Oh, that requires Artemis 4. We should have Artemis 4 in here, to be clear. So we'll hop on down to... Rangefinder would be nice. And we'll grab Missile Accuracy FCS. This is not an Artemis 4. We want an Artemis 4 FCS. There we go. And then we will have that extra ton of guided ammo here. Do we have any other sensors to put in this thing? We do. We could put in Sentinel sensors. And that would be fine. Except we don't have the hardpoint. Okay. So I think that's what we've got for sensors, unless we were to put in, like, the Bloodhound probe, which would be slightly ridiculous, but we might be able to pull that off, actually. And then, what I'd really like to see is this thing in the arm and the large X-Pulse laser over here. But unfortunately, that's not really going to be an option. What is the weight on that large X-Pulse laser? 7 tons? That's maybe doable. and then an ER large laser down here. Now, we're not going to be firing those most of the time. We're massively overweight, and I am aware of that. We're going to put ferrofibrous armor and endosteel structure on this. Okay, that is actually too many slots. So, are we better off with the ferrofibrous armor or the endosteel structure? The endosteel structure. We could then put in a Clan XL engine, but we apparently don't have the slots for that. Oh, because of the Bloodhound probe? Can that go in the arm? It can go in the arm. Okay. So that puts us at 8 tons overweight. I'd love to put the ferrofibrous armor on there. We would need 5 free slots for that. And yes, our heat efficiency is garbage here. Now, keep in mind, we're not intending to fire these lasers and the Arrow 4s simultaneously. So that's 60 heat off of this when we're firing the lasers. So that would be like... Actually, it would be sinkable. Yeah, so we fire the lasers or the Arrow 4s, not both, in most situations. That said, we could run the Clan double heat sinks. If we do that, we're going to be running into some pretty major weight issues. Some pretty major weight issues indeed. We could simply run the large X pulse laser and drop this ER large laser and just have the X pulse as our backup weapon. I think that's reasonable. And then that gives us these 2 slots to work with. How can we drop additional weight? Well, we don't need these double heat sinks. We know that. So that'll save us 2 tons. I would love to put ferrofibrous on this. That would get us what we need. How many more slots do we need for that? 4. We can drop the Bloodhound probe. With the ferrofibrous armor on, apparently we can't do that because we need an additional slot somewhere. But I don't know where exactly. That's maybe okay, though. What if we just dropped this, hypothetically? Well, probably not permanently. Yeah, that would, in fact, do the trick. So we need 1 additional slot. That gives us our tonnage, but we are overweight. So how do we want, or rather, we're underweight. So how do we want to get this done? Indeed. We drop the endosteel structure, and, I mean, that doesn't help. Ferrofibrous armor. And then we're still lacking 1 slot. I suppose we could drop a ton of Arrow 4 ammo. That is a possibility. So we do that, and we put in our endosteel structure. If only we had Clan endosteel structure on hand. But we don't. How do we use up this extra ton now? How indeed? Because we are definitely full up on slots. There is no doubt about that one. I suppose we could think about going to a slightly larger engine. Wow, look at this cost. Is it the Clan Engine XL? Yes, it is. We could do a temporary build here where we did like something like this. Actually, like an Engine Core 190? Or actually like an Engine Core 175. Might do the trick. That would allow us to put in the extra ton of Arrow 4 ammo. Like that. And then just lose a little bit of weight in these arms. Something along the lines of that. And that's much more economical. We could even put the ferrofibrous and the endosteel structure back on and have 6 tons to work with. If we have 6 tons to work with, then we could theoretically put that ER large laser back on. Still have an extra ton. Which can fit a Clan heatsink. Where are you at, Clan Double Heatsink? Because that's only 2 slots. Something like this. Oh, wait, that's a free heatsink? How many free heatsinks do we need? 3. Oh, okay. That's definitely a yikes. Definitely a yikes. I didn't realize we'd need 3 free external heatsinks. So we have to drop the ER large laser. And then that means that we have to increase the size of this engine until we have 2 available, because we don't have 3 clan heatsinks. So let's take this up to, let's see, it has to be an engine core 200. Like that. Okay. So with that, then we have to put in a second clan double heatsink. And that goes over here. We need a slot for it. Can we drop the ferrofibrous armor? Yes, we can. So a clan double heatsink goes here, and we have 2.5 tons to work with. 2.5 tons. That's enough weight to potentially put in like an AMS, or maybe even an AMS Mark II. An AMS Mark II. Do we have any AMS ammo? SRM counter missile. A double AMS missile. Or a double AMS ammo. But not a regular AMS ammo. That's very sad indeed. So that would put us 0.5 ton overweight. But otherwise this would work. We could drop a little bit of weight here. Like, have this be at like 160. Bring these down to 120. And these down to maybe 150. Actually, 155 will do the trick. That would work. This thing's not intended to get in close. And once we have a lot more money to throw at it, we can make a better build than this. But this is a relatively economical one. And we're going to need that. We definitely need an economical build right now.
I'll let you know when that's done.
Okay, so that salamander is the top priority. And a lot of these are going to require additional work, but that's fine. We're going to do what we can. However, it's well past time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to get these repairs done and go fishing for some quick, easy cash. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time. We got an assault. Before we got a heavy. What are the odds?